It's been a long time coming.
I don't know if you guys can hear me at all. If you can, I might have to connect with another computer.
We're bringing it to you one time. The Skum Nation Podcast.
Yes.
Unfiltered. Yeah. Sitting here with XR, X911, whatever he wants to call himself.
No.
His name is Ryan. He's really not black like the thumb is on the intro. He is really not black.
No.
Also, Fox is unable to be with us here tonight, but he will be with us next week. And with him with us next week, we also have here Oscar the Grouch, a.k.a. Bobsled. How are you? Is he not there now? Oh, he left.
I'm not sure.
So, before we get started here, this guy 911 keeps blowing me up. I'm sitting here trying to do the speed run, and it's like, what are you doing?
No, it's called, you said, what? Consistency. And when you, hey, look at the clock.
Can you guys hear me now?
Can you see the clock?
Don't even get me started with that. Like, the speed run would totally, like, blew up in my face. I got stuck on this one board, and it just made things so much more crazier. If you guys
Well, that's why you started a half an hour early to plan for you not being as tight as you thought you were back in the day.
Oh, no, I was still on point, my friend. I was still on point.
I'm just saying.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
We could hear you before.
All right. Sorry, I only had a mic. My sound wasn't working right.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sitting here trying to do the speed run, and then this jabroni is coming at me like, hey, what are you doing? Even though I did run late, it would have been so much quicker if I didn't die a couple times in this stage.
Well, then it didn't matter me slowing you down because you already ruined it for yourself.
I did ruin it for myself.
Just a little bit. The minute you die, it's...
Shut up. Just shut up here. So, we're sitting here live with the Unfiltered Podcast. Parental discretion is advised. Make sure that, you little kids ask your parents or whatever. It really doesn't matter to me. I already gave the sound off there. So, what do you guys have been doing? What do you guys have been playing this week?
To be honest, you'll get a kick out of this because I was actually just in school, which you don't think anything entertaining is going to come from that, but this super nerd who's in my math class,
Yeah.
he found out that I built, a new system, and he's like, "What you got?" And I wasn't trying to brag. I was keeping it low because I know my stuff's not the newest.
Brag that you got like this beastly rig.
No,
out.
I just said what I have right now will be just about anything top tier, not named Titan, basically. And he was just like, "Okay, what do you got?" I told him the 970s, and then he just said, "I got two 1080s right now." SLI. I was like, "Yeah, you need that because you definitely need that right now." Yeah.
Oh my God! Like, you talk to the ultra nerd.
Yeah.
What else does he have in his computer rig?
Oh,
Well,
he's got. Believe me, he
to be
runs
fair, he's
Microsoft
running-
servers. So I mean, if you're running servers, then you must be at least have an idea of what you're doing.
I mean, we don't know. He could be running 3 4K screens too, right? So.
I think he spends all his money on just that setup because he told me he's got the Vive and everything as well too, and I'm like, wow, man. I thought about it, but I don't buy first gen anything. I don't care. First generation, not buying it.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm all about the graphics and everything for my computer, right? I've got an Xbox, and that's where I do the majority of my gaming. But I do play some games here that I can't get on Xbox. But I'm focused on being able to play the games without any distortion, not any crazy level of overpowered gaming. And I know other people really enjoy that, but I'd rather have a much more rounded out system that's able to be a media server, a gaming computer, and everything else all together than just a gaming PC.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of how I have my setup. Took me a while, but as Coolio, he's the reason why. That's Erin, everybody. She's getting a spot on the show, apparently.
Specifically told him, look, bro, he was going to spend money on a PC and have it shipped to him pre-built. I'm like, why are you going to do that? Just build your own rig. It's super easy, and it's going to save you tons of money. And
Which
I
it
try
did.
that a lot, and a lot of PC gamers preach that because it's true. PC gaming is cheaper overall in the long run.
If you let it, but you have to let it be. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. You know, like you can go into these pockets of ridiculous amounts of money if that's the guy that you become, or you can be realistic.
You can be the guy that has two 1080i Titans.
Yeah. You know, and speaking about the guy that you were telling, you know, if you're talking to this gentleman here, but I'm sorry I didn't get an introduction either. But
he wrote it.
Yeah. But no, so I kind of remember you being that guy that I was like, you need to just build this computer, Cujo.
Yeah, you did tell me that I should build a PC when I bought my box.
I even sent you some parts.
Yeah, he did. He sent my
Did
OS.
he give you a discount, or did he surcharge you on them parts?
120.
I gave it to him for free. I sent him a solid state. I told him, like, solid state, you got to do this for your operating system. You got to do it. And he's like, nah, bro, I'm not gonna do it. So I fucking sent him one because I didn't want him to ruin his shit.
That's what I told Ryan here too. I said you need to SSD your shit. Yeah.
I did, and I actually told my instructors about how I did the setup on this computer, and they were like, oh, that's pretty smart. And I said, it is to a certain degree, because Windows likes to put everything on the C drive no matter what. So if you want to run,
that's just how Windows is, though.
I know that, but I only got a 256 SSD as the OS hard drive, so anything that Windows wants to put on there from the store, the marketplace, goes there unless you change, like you go hardcore into the Hive cluster where it's main system components. Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like we went a little down the rabbit hole, but I agree.
Oh, yeah.
It is trying to do that. But the way I solve that, generally we're talking about games and movies and stuff like that, and you just got to set that stuff to go to a dedicated storage somewhere else. But as far as what I'm playing this week, I just got back from deployment, so I'm like in the past compared to everybody else, and I'm still stuck on Destiny. And I know everybody else apparently hates that game now. But
hold on there. What? You're seriously? Seriously? You're still on Destiny?
Yeah, I've been telling you this, man. I've been telling you. I've been playing the shit out of Destiny. I've always loved that game, though. So
I'll never understand you people. Like, we've played Destiny. We played Destiny back in fucking 2000, and it's called Halo.
Yeah, well, you know, when Halo, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I really like the game, man. I do. I'm that guy.
It's fun. Don't get me wrong. Destiny is so much fun. And if this is your first time ever picking up Destiny or playing Destiny, you're gonna love it. It's great. But after the first 100 hours, if you even make it that far, it gets so droll.
But I mean, have you? So I know you left pretty early, man. Have you played any of the expansions or anything?
I refused to buy any more DLC. I bought the Moon DLC, and I only went up 2 light levels. And I said, no, sir, that's the last that you fool this guy. Okay.
So now I'm saying it's a bargain, right? So now you get everything that they've got for $40, right? If you're already in and you know whatever, that's fine. But you get every single expansion after that for $40. And there's a ton of gameplay, and I agree that the game didn't release with enough content, but now there is enough content for you to reliably play the game every week and do something different every day.
You're basically got the full experience now, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you have a full game that's based on 3 expansions, which is garbage, but the game is good. That's really what it comes down to for me.
The game is good, but you know what? Because Bungie went with Activision, that's all it's about. It's about that money.
Yeah, well, and, you know, I'm not willing to sacrifice playing a good game on principle. That's, you know.
Speaking of good games, I'm sure you guys have heard the whole entire hype train that's been going on this week for No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
John Murray had made it known recently that he would like to see the game go on multiple platforms. And there's also a lot of heat surrounding the game, too, because of what he had been saying every single E3 about being able to have space fights and being able to see other people. And so far, it's been a hit and it's been a miss in a lot of areas. What are your thoughts on some of the stuff like that? Do you think that it was a little bit overhyped by Sony because they were doing all the marketing?
Well, to be honest, it's a shame that Fortnite Alpha came out because
We can't talk about the Fortnite Alpha. We can't talk about that. And I'm with you. You and me are like,
oh man,
just
because I was
wanna-
on the train. I was on the train, and then about 3 weeks ago, I fell off to the side somewhere, and then I got reviews, and I was just all like, you know what? I'm gonna wait for a couple patches to come out, just for my own sanity. I'm gonna wait for a couple patches at best. So a little bit of wait time.
You know what I see though? I see. Oh man, I'm blanking on the name of the game right now.
It's all right.
I see Elite Dangerous with less functionality. Like,
I
well,
compared it to Elite Dangerous 2 earlier in another conversation in a group.
yeah. So I mean, I've been playing Elite Dangerous for a long time, and they keep coming out with expansions that allow you to do bigger and better things. And one of those recent expansions was the ability to land on planets, not with life and things like No Man's Sky does, but I think ultimately both of those games are relying on a future release where you can either build structures on planets, build space structures, or have massive battles in space with coordination. Without one of those three aspects, or all of them, you're not going to have a complete game that you're just going to draw masses.
Okay. I get that. But at the same token, it has been delivering on some of the points.
Yeah,
And
no, and yeah, I agree that
on
people
on
are
those-
playing.
on those parts. But my thing is that he specifically said many times that you were going to be able to run into people and get into space fights and see what you see, and that was already proven kind of bunk because these guys were live streaming together and they went on the same planet and they didn't even run into each other. So then now they're trying to put the blame on that, hey, there's 100 billion galaxies out there and, so many servers. And I could understand the server thing, but, I mean, why are you going to talk so much about, okay, you're going to be able to do this, that, and the other, but not give the opportunity for that to happen naturally when you can? You see what I'm saying?
Because it makes more money to say that what you can do that you may not pull off than actually pulling it off.
That's all it is, man. It's about that money. All about that money. But I'm with you.
I think they're completely missing the mark. I really do. I think they should focus less on being able to interact, which, I mean, Elite Dangerous already has, right? And more on the actual function of the game. But that's just me. I don't know.
I'll play it. I just, right now, Fortnite. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it is about that right now. That is seriously legit. I'm not gonna lie. It's seriously the most legit thing out right now. I personally think so. But
It's the best alpha I've ever played.
Go there yet? Why? Okay.
Well, because you're running late anyway, so why not?
We're running mega late, but it's okay. We're gonna do some catching up here, okay? Also, earlier this week it was coming out. Have you guys played like all of the BioShock games yet?
Define all of the BioShock games. What are you talking about?
Like all of the BioShock games. There's one.
I bought one, I beat it. I bought two, I beat it, but didn't get all the DLC because I was cheap. And then the third one I bought a year ago, and I was like, I'm gonna destroy this, and I have not even installed it.
Yeah, so I played all the BioShock games as they came out. So for me, obviously, it's been quite a while.
It's been quite some time for you.
I don't doubt it's great. It's just I've been very sidetracked by many other great titles.
Yeah, that's true.
Very easy to do.
It's going to be coming out here now anyways. So it's going to be the BioShock collection. It's going to be BioShock 1, 2, BioShock Infinite, And I really liked 1 and Infinite, but I wasn't really a huge fan of 2. It just felt way too linear to me. Where the other ones were
It
still
was.
where 3 was where 3 was linear, but it gave you a little bit of exploration. Where 1 you're just going back and forth and a lot of backtracking. That's what sucked about 1, but
I liked 1 just because of the storyline. It was really well developed. And then the second one, it's like the second one in every movie franchise in history. It just doesn't quite live up to the original.
it didn't go up to the hype. Yeah, no, I mean, it did. It was cool because you got to see the relationship between the little sisters and the big daddies, but at the same time, it was like, really, was it all of that? There's like one crazy chick that's trying to kill all of them again.
I
Like,
want to say I beat it in like 15 hours. Something pretty sad.
it was real short. Yeah, I think I cleared it in like 12, maybe 12, 15, somewhere's in there like that. I think we lost somebody. Oh no, he's still here.
Yeah, no, you lost me and I came back.
Okay, okay. Just double checking. Just double checking. So far since the reveal, there hasn't been really much hype around the Battlefield Call of Duty thing. Nothing's really come out. Nothing's been shown with Call of Duty as of late, besides their most recent DLC. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, it's like Call of Duty like seriously in trouble now about finally losing the reins, or they've been so quiet so far to release something major coming up, maybe something at Gamescom.
I think with competition like Titanfall and Destiny and Battlefield and everything, the other games have finally started to chip away at that market share as you described it, and this might not be their death, but they're on their way out.
I mean, to be honest, I thought that war was over a while ago, but that's because I refused. That's because I quit buying the same maps about 8 years ago. But
Yeah,
that's
I haven't bought a Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare 2. So,
well, I quit specifically when I realized I remembered killing Germans in a map that I was in China in, and then I realized they recycled a map from 2 into like 4 or something, and I was all like,
Yeah, that was Call of Duty 4. Yeah, it was the China DLC or whatever.
yeah, and it just was like, man, I bought this 4 years ago, and I just paid for this for like $5, and I got like 2 maps, and one of them was something I shot Germans on. Oh man. All they did, and they didn't even change the level. All they did was take the street signs down and put up Chinese ones and make it from day to night. That's it.
Daytime.
man,
That's it.
that is a jip. I'm glad that's not a thing I experienced myself.
Yeah, and I
well,
remember that you couldn't actually do much with like airstrikes or helicopters either, because everybody would be camping in the buildings.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
remember that? Like, seriously?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, if you're still buying Call of Duty games, you must love dodging 14 grenades from the AI on Veteran in like 3 seconds, because I was like once fascinated by that, and then after I realized it was just a dirty tactic to piss you off, that's when I was just like, yeah, I'm kind of done with this shit.
What do you
Yeah.
guys think about that new Titanfall trailer?
Oh man. I love Titanfall. I think Titanfall is probably one of the most underrated first-person shooters when it came out due to its limited release. I think
Servers.
Titanfall to only strictly release on PC and Xbox. I mean, that was a huge move for Xbox because it literally, I would say, kind of helped them not fall so far behind, even though they are totally far, far behind in the console sales. They would have been worse if it wasn't for Titanfall. But the way that it played, the way that it revolutionized everything, the way that the Zampella and company evolved what a first-person shooter could be with jetpacks and wall running, it totally changed the way the game. And there's nothing more badass than trying to go Gundam Wing in a mech.
Yeah.
And a year later, Call of Duty had jetpacks in it.
Weird.
Yeah, Call of Duty emulated them because They knew, they saw the writing was on the wall that Zampella and company were here. Like Zampella and those guys from the what I like to call OG, the original Gangster Infinity Ward, all of those guys are at Respawn. Every one of them. So what I'm waiting to see is for them just to hurry up and put the nail in the coffin for COD and just end it. They created it. They're the ones that can end the garbage that we've been getting in first-person shooters on.
I mean, you know what, though? I'm perfectly fine with Call of Duty surviving because it seems like, in a way, it sucks all of the preteen players out of the other games.
You can't rely on the same vacuum to last you your whole life. It's going to break, and you're going to have to buy a new vacuum eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because I honestly, in recent years, I found myself focusing more on long gameplay, story-based, single-player games. You know, stuff like Mass Effect, where I can get immersed in the game, and I don't have to listen to some 12-year-old kid make racial slurs or talk about my mom. You know, it's...
How he was banging your mom yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm banging your mom.
Yeah, that's what it's about. That's what's about to happen.
That's what it become. I mean, that happened to Halo 2 after a while as well. And I mean, I think that's probably when I actually was like, I need to step away from. It's time to step away from Halo for a little bit. Time to take a little time out.
Well, that was the perfect time because 3 came out.
Not only did 3 come out, but at the same time, these people are sitting here trying to get me to play it, and I was already over at that time with it. And then I was like, I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it. They somehow convinced me to get it, and then when I did get it, I just wanted to punch myself in the face and bang myself against the wall. Like how we were just talking about how Call of Duty has this bullshit with little-ass kids. You have to check this out, and I'm going to put this on here. And this video is from African Drug Lord. It's a Unidad
Oh,
video.
I saw this. This is great.
But this is the perfect troll to get back.
Oh, I just watched this today, actually. Yeah.
It is fucking hilarious. And
Good.
I'm going to put this on the screen here.
Good, because I'm going to make a quick walk. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's beer time.
And you have to take a look at this. It's awesome.
I just shit on your mama big time.
Do not talk about my mother, you understand?
I talked about your mother because I shit on her big time.
Take back what you said about my mother.
No.
Then how about I come to you in Florida?
What the fuck are you talking about?
I know your name, Mr. Bradley.
You don't know who the fuck you talking
Bradley
about.
what?
You think you... Bradley what? What the fuck are you
You
talking
want to
about?
keep playing games with me, huh? Till I shop at your door? The number one thing I hate the most in this game are children who come on the game and insult others for no reason, with no repercussion. But you chosen the wrong person to fuck with, you understand? I know your name, Bradley, and I know where you live. So I am not a fucker you want to anger, but I am going to give you one more chance, one opportunity to seek forgiveness from me for what you have done, and apologize to me. Are you going to apologize to me or not?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Good. Now the next time you feel the need to be mean, you remember this day and you hold your tongue. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Now we can play it again. Okay?
This guy. This guy is hilarious. This guy's an absolute genius. I love it.
Holy fuck.
Booyala boo, you boo.
Fuck, dude.
Hey, Mr. Fusion,
Yeah.
have you ever heard of the word voodoo?
The voodoo?
Yes.
Like black magic?
Yes. By the way, Fusion,
Yeah.
you are from Windsor, Ontario.
Wait, how the fuck do you know that?
Yo, and he's calling them out. They're all freaking out.
Yo. How do you know that? Yo, how do you know that? Bro, I'm backing out.
That's what you get for believing in that bullshit, though.
Hey, sir.
I'm from Uganda.
Say this. Follow me. I know the way.
I'm from
Follow me,
Uganda.
I know the way.
This guy is awesome. That is probably one of the best trolls
Where are you
ever. I love
Hey,
it.
that's pretty
So,
awesome.
I don't know, man. I think the best troll ever is going to go all the way back to the day that Xbox One first came out, and you had the dudes that were all Xbox Sign Out was their name.
Oh my god, yeah, that was
Dude.
really good too. A lot of people were pissed.
Oh, yeah. Xbox Sign Out. What the fuck? Oh, shit. No, no, no.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Definitely very awesome. Speaking of the Xbox One S 2 terabyte launch has been the biggest, most successful, I guess, small console launch for them. They sold out, and they say that they're not going to produce it anymore. So, to me, I think that this is a bad move for them. I mean, you have a console that people are really enjoying, that they like it, they love that it's 2 terabyte, it's got the proper storage that something this generation should have, and it's got the faster RAM and all of that, and they're just saying, the hell with it. We're only going to do special editions.
Yeah, I don't think they're saying the hell with it. I think they're keeping the market demand as high as they possibly can. I mean, it's sure they could have immediately sold more consoles, but then if they sell this better console at a higher price and then they continue to sell it, that price is going to drop, right? But if they sell it and they run out and then they start another run later on that's got, you know, a different skin or whatever it is, but it's really the same thing, they can sell it at this high price again, and they're maximizing their profit and reducing the amount of materials that they actually need to make the units.
Honestly, I think that the main difference is, I think the first S model here is a test. That's all for the new one, the heavy hitter that's coming out next year, so they can judge what is going to come out and what's going to sell. I think that's all it really is. They know it's going to sell no matter what. Why not put something out that is a little bit better just to see what it's going to draw? I mean,
Right, sort of a market test, yeah.
I mean, but do you really think that the Scorpio is going to be like the next, the next great thing?
unless they screw it up. I mean, for consoles, that is. Let's be honest.
But PlayStation Neo, one thing that I noticed between the two different consoles, because the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation Neo, I should say, has already been some of the specs have come out on that. So the thing about the specs that really gets me is that, excuse me, the thing about the specs is what gets me, is that it says it's Ultra HD, where on the Scorpio, we already know up front that it's going to be RHD or, oh my gosh, I'm having the biggest brain fart right now. HDR. And HDR is supposed to be like the next echelon of true 4K resolution. Now, do you think that Xbox played their hand too short, revealing their specs ahead of Sony?
I don't think so. It's so late in the game, unless they really want to throw a lot of money into it to one-up them again. And why do they need to at this point? They've already beat them to this point pretty hard. So they don't really need to make the risk that Microsoft have to do to catch up.
Yeah, and I mean, in the market today, getting there first is one of the best things that you can possibly do.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Was it PS4 that came out before Xbox, or it was a week difference, wasn't it?
It wasn't much.
I can't exactly remember what it is, but man, I'm trying to think of what it was. I can't remember.
I couldn't tell you.
All I know is that Sony took the reins, started hauling ass with it, and didn't even look back.
No,
Now,
well, that's because they put something in there and didn't try to tackle on a retarded camera that nobody wanted to buy and use a quarter of the horsepower or whatever the hell they took away from it. I mean, let's be honest, that was... They just keep pushing Microsoft sometimes when they need to back off.
I love it. Maybe I'm the only guy, but I love the Kinect. I do.
You know what? I bought the first one. I just did not like the fact that they were trying to force people into buying the second one, and that's kind of messed up.
Well, so I will say the second one is not even comparable to the first one. It's so much better in this new form that...
Yeah, but the developers are jumping off the ship. They're just diving off,
Yeah.
man.
So I mean, I don't ever use it for the game functionality, but one thing that I think Microsoft got right is that I use my Xbox every day, right? It is a core part of entertainment in my house. It runs everything. My Plex server from, on my computer right here, right? Downstairs, I'm watching movies or with the kids, the wife, whatever. I'm running Netflix, I'm running games, I'm running everything, my cable, all of it, right? My TV guide works through the Xbox. And I can say exactly what I want. And I will caveat that with, when I was saying Xbox, I want this, and everything worked perfectly, I was super happy, but I'm a part of the Xbox Improvement Program or whatever the fuck it is, and now I have to talk to Cortana, and that shit is garbage. I mean, it was
Cortana was supposed to be like the second coming.
No, dude, it was perfect. Like, everything in my life with that machine was good, right? Cortana blows all the fat dicks. Like, it's crazy how bad Cortana is. It's not even funny.
Also, a lot newer of a product.
Mad, don't say that. They'll be like, Cortana does not suck ass. It's down
Well,
the
like I said, it's a newer product.
it's down the drain right there. To me personally, I'm with you right there, Oscar. I think that the Xbox Kinect is very underrated. I want to say that it's probably one of the most underrated peripherals, but at the same time, you can't force that on a consumer. And that's what they were doing with the Xbox One that people didn't enjoy. Like the Xbox One S right now, it doesn't even come with the Kinect. You have to get a special adapter if you want to use that.
Yeah.
So I think they learned their lesson there, but when the Kinect works, it's fantastic. Xbox, go to Netflix. Xbox, send friends invites. Xbox, I want to do this. Or snap to ESPN.
My question to you
Yeah,
is...
exactly.
My question to you is, when it works, yes, but how many people are in the room when it's working? And how many people are in the room when it's not working?
I mean, I've got 2 kids, a wife, and 2 dogs, right? So
Is it that much better when it comes to that compared to the first one? Because I don't know.
I don't know exactly what you're asking.
How bad it confuses people in the damn room.
Like
'Cause
how
the first one was awful. It could not distinguish voices for shit, if you ask me.
Oh, so it doesn't really matter to me if it recognizes anyone's voice, right? I mean, because you have to start with Xbox and then say a command for it to do anything, right? So if my wife is sitting there and she says Xbox, watch Netflix, right? We were probably just talking about watching a TV show or whatever, right? Sure, my kid could run in and be like, Xbox, watch Netflix, and then run out, and I'd be mad, but that's not the Xbox's fault, that's my kid's fault.
Yep, and that's when you got to start taking away the electronics.
Yeah, so it's...
Yeah.
But I mean, I really enjoy being able to sit there and play a game for a while, right? And then my wife will come in the room and be like, "Hey, can we watch Game of Thrones?" And I just say, "Xbox, watch HBO." And boom, straight from the game, no delay whatsoever. I'm there in HBO doing my thing. Like, I don't know.
Doing what you got to do. Okay, so now that we're still on topic about the Xbox, PlayStation stuff, The Last Guardian, I believe it's coming out next month, or no, not next month, in October. We've waited so long for this game. Is The Last Guardian gonna flop?
I don't think so. I don't know how good it will be, but it's not going to flop.
will it push more than 25 million copies?
Maybe if second generation PlayStation with a Game of the Year version a year later and some good loyal fans, possibly, but I don't know, man. That's a high number to be putting out there.
I don't think 25 million is a very high number. 25 million is for a successful game that has a
How old is the original?
amount of people that want to play it.
How
Like
old is
Star
the
Wars-
original?
What was the what?
How old is the original?
Shadow of Colossus and Ico, they're mad old. Those are PS2.
What year did it come out in? Like
Oh my God,
98?
you're sitting here and trivia me? I mean,
No,
like,
98. Let's just agree, like 98, 99.
the night you're gonna ask me, oh man, hey, do you
I'm just saying.
know what that
Most
is?
of the people who played that either moved on, or the people who could buy it have no clue what the original even was. So there goes your 25 million. I'm gonna wave goodbye to that.
September 24th, 2001. That is my final answer.
I said 98, 99. I don't know the actual date, but that's if it was a PS2, it was probably before 2000.
Yeah, this was like towards the end of the life cycle of PS2.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying none of these fools know what the hell this new one's about. Nor are they gonna know how to play the damn thing.
I don't think like I guess you could say I am like hanging on a thread Ico fan. I've been waiting for a really good game. I love Shadow of the Colossus. I really liked Ico. But then we've been waiting so long. I mean, it's almost been a full decade we have been waiting for this damn game.
That's not a good
I
sign.
still don't believe it's going to come out. And the thing about it is, and I was disappointed because when we saw that E3 reveal where they played the same stage, it looked like an extension of the first E3 demo that they showed. It was just an extended like 2006 E3 demo. It was like the shit that they should have shown us at the start of this reveal. It should have been way cleaner. It should have looked much better. And I understand that games are going to take their direction as far as their art and all of that stuff, and I respect that. But it didn't look clean. Like
You sound like a girl on prom night that's just hoping she doesn't get her heart broken.
Oh, whatever. I was very passionate about it. I am passionate about it.
So I like the topic that we're on. I'm not too familiar with the game we're talking about now, but in terms of our adult gaming, right? And you can't really say adult gaming without immediately bringing up, something else. But so gamers our age, right, who grew up gaming on the old systems and everything else.
We grew up playing games standing up.
Yeah, sure, yes, exactly. Yeah, you know what I mean? Going to arcades and then,
man.
Exactly.
from
That money.
From Atari to now. You know what I mean? So us, right? So what do you guys think? Is there a future where we get the content that we're looking for as adults now, or are we just kind of relegated to sharing our genre with children because gaming is a children's pursuit?
I think we finally get it within the next 5 or 10 years, actually.
I'm not really understanding your question.
I just right now there is no single game. Right? Look at Call of Duty, right? You could say that Call of Duty is an adult's game, right? Because you're killing people, there's explosions, there's gore.
Are you talking about?
I'm not talking about ratings. I'm talking about the actual content. A game designed for an adult, not designed for a child at all, right? Right now, games.
He's talking about Manhunt.
Sure. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. You're talking about Grand Theft Auto. Those are adult games, and they get it for kids.
No.
Because you have these parents that.
No, we're not talking about that. Stop.
No. So Grand Theft Auto is designed with features they're designed to attract children, and they're enjoyable and they're easy to play and whatever, right? I'm talking about games that are. I mean, The Witcher might not be the best example, right? But if you go to The Witcher 2,
farming simulator. You want to
no,
be
go
the
no. Go to The Witcher 2.
play.
right? Have you guys played it? Have you guys ever played The Witcher 2?
Yeah, I did for about 20 seconds till I realized
I
it
have
was.
not finished it. My ADD will not allow me to finish that game. I have to do every side quest. I have to.
Exactly, and that's
There you go.
whatever. But the entire game, from the gameplay to the gore to the adult nature of it, right? The entire thing seems like it's designed for somebody who's been playing games for a long time and is an adult. And there's no part of that game that would entice a child to play it.
Like a Game of Thrones type shit. No little kid wants to play Game of Thrones.
Exactly. And that's, I just wish
Okay, let me
that we had our own pocket.
PlayStation 2, EA, Lord of the Rings. That's some medieval type shit. Did you not play that when you were littler?
I'm sorry, say that again.
The Lord of the Rings game back on PlayStation 2, the very first one that came out when the movie came out. Probably one of the only movie-to-game adaptations that didn't suck ass.
It was kind of
The only one I didn't play.
It was kind of Might and Magic-ish, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I played it. Yeah.
Around like Golden Axe, but like with the Lord of the Rings guys coming out here beating the shit out of people, shooting bow and arrows. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. If you look, go find it and play it.
I don't know. I guess ultimately I'm just tired of sharing my gaming experience.
You want a game that's meant for adults, but the problem is that there are developers that make game for adults, like Manhunt, for an example. Like you're going around literally suffocating people with plastic bags, and that is a game for an adult. A kid shouldn't play.
Splinter Cell.
That the parents of these children, they go and buy these games for them, not doing any kind of fucking research whatsoever, because little Jimmy wants to buy himself a little Manhunt, so we're going to go up to the video game store, and we're going to go ahead and buy it for him with his allowance money for mowing yards. And
I used to play Manhunt when I was a kid. It should be fine.
yeah, it's going to be hopefully okay. We're going to have a good time.
Well, it's different now. When we were kids, you couldn't get away with that.
You're with your 7-year-old kid trying to creep up on a dude and stabbing him with a piece of glass with a shank? Come on, dude. That's your fault that you influence your kids like that. It's the parents' responsibility to make sure that your child is not being exposed to content that they shouldn't have. And there's a lot of parents that don't do that. And that's the problem. That's why you have these little shithead kids playing Battlefield. That's why you have these little shithead kids ruining games that would be just meant for you, an adult, a mature gamer.
Yeah. And so the reason I kind of bring this up is that I'm really, really excited about the next installation in Mass Effect, right? And I know that's probably still really far away.
First quarter of next year, it will come out. They still said that they were going to put a release date for this year, which is now December 31st. But I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen.
I know, and so they're gonna. But I hope that delays mean that the game releases better, right? I don't really care if a game is delayed.
We want a delay.
Yeah.
We don't want more broken shit, and they've already gone on the record. Montreal, BioShock Montreal, or whatever the dev is right now. I can't think of it right now. EA, Biohazard. I mean, they've already gone on record saying that this is going to be the most beautiful looking game on Frostbite 4, and we've already seen a sample of that with Battlefield 1, because Battlefield 1 looks glorious. Even the alpha footage looks absolutely amazing. So it's just...
Has there been any talk about it being multiplayer?
I did have one of my sources tell me that there was going to be... that they were going to be working on a type of multiplayer.
I mean, they were working on a type of multiplayer in Mass Effect 3, and that was the worst fucking multiplayer experience of my life. But
it's not going to be like that. They're trying to work on it where it's more of like, and don't quote me on this whatsoever.
No, you're good. You're good.
On my part, that they're going to be working more towards a better.
I'm right.
Experience.
I'm writing this down.
The console have the power to push out what what it needs to be done to do something like that. The consoles have the power to push what they want to do with it, and I think they might experiment with it. And if you follow their Twitter and look closely to screenshots that they have in the background and the offices and stuff, you can see that they're working on it right now. They're working on it hardcore. I mean, a lot of the game has been redone from scratch. I mean, a lot of the stuff that they told us before is definitely not going to be in it now. Not in the final cut, anyways.
So, without trying to further drive the conversation too far, given the relative power of newer gaming systems, and who knows how long this generation of gaming system has, right? Because it's really the consoles that drive the content for the entire industry. But do you guys see the traditional game genres combining into larger game platforms in the near future? And if that's not a good enough description, I can go deeper, but I'll try to get your answer now.
Well, if you're into something,
one game.
yeah, if you're into something that merges like a lot of different genres, and you don't want to deal with a lot of people playing it right now, and you want to get into like at least 3, I can think of particular genres, I would totally recommend this low-budget title called Fortnite, because that is...
We can't talk about the game! We can't talk about it!
So, I before this little chat here, I keep trying to pull up this Fortnite thing, and it keeps kicking me out of our conversation. But I've never heard of Fortnite until right now.
So, if we could talk about this, it would, I could have... This podcast would go until 5 o'clock.
Yeah, when we ain't got that time.
Yeah. No, so an example of what I'm saying, right? So I really enjoyed playing Elite Dangerous, right? But when it first came out, and then as the installations have come out, and I know a lot of people don't like it because it's very difficult to play sometimes, and it takes a lot of time to really acquire anything in the game. But I like the idea of a game where you can focus on one thing if you want, but there's an entire world worth of shit to do, right? Most games, they have side quests, right? Where this is the main path that you have to go down, but there's this other shit that will help you along the way, right? But in Elite Dangerous, you can fly around the universe only discovering shit, right? You never have to interact with another human being ever, right?
Yeah.
And then occasionally come back to a space station and do whatever. Or you can be only involved in PvP, right? Or you can be only involved in harvesting things. Or you can be a transport guy or whatever, right? Now you can land on planets, and I'm hoping that the ability to build star bases is the next thing, right? Imagine a game where you can fight, build... What's that?
Your mind just exploded right there.
Yeah, I'm like, let me just tell you right now.
You're like, we're gonna build star bases.
Exactly.
Laser
I gotta just break it to him easy so he doesn't get upset.
It's like, never gonna fucking happen.
No, I'm just saying that there's no elite Star Wars gonna happen. Okay, so let me just get
But no, you know what game you would really like a lot? It's called Black Desert Online. And Black Desert Online is this MMO. And I personally, I never played World of Warcraft. To this day, I still have not touched the game because I need to stay away from games like that because it will consume my life. I had to do a review for this game, right? RealGameMedia.com, where you hear it first, where we've gotten like 90% of our news tonight. And I did the review, and I really enjoyed the game. You got to grow crops. You buy your houses. You don't necessarily build them, but you have to tame wild horses, animals to get pets. You could literally just go off on your own and fight goblins or something somewhere, or join in PvP, or every once in a blue moon, a guy will come by on a horse and drop something for you. Be like, here's a sword for you, and it's a random player. Like, the community is like super nice. And I really enjoyed it, and you'll probably like that game. And it's got a little bit of everything. It's got beat 'em up, it's got MMO, it's got RPG, it's got PvP, it's got free sandbox. It's the biggest sandbox that I could think of. You'd really enjoy that. You should try it. I'll see about getting you a key or something.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I do love sandbox games, right? But I just feel like there is an ultimate game out there if you combine multiple genres.
I'm not
Like-
gonna say it again.
I know, my brain exploded. It's
Oh my God! Watch a video on this, Oscar.
No, it's not.
Watch the
And you can't.
video.
And the thing is, it looks like they just, I don't want to say it, but it
Can't
looks
talk
like
about
they took
Fortnite.
Overwatch, cell shaded it, threw some flat maps out there, and said, "Have a blast." Man, it's scary good.
Oh, we can't talk about Fortnite. Just the
Okay,
fuck
okay.
up.
It's like if you've ever played The Forest. The Forest. You
The
probably.
Forest is a great game. That game
Okay.
is so underrated. It's fucking redonkulous.
Okay, it's like that. Only you shoot things. If it was COD Zombies, and you built whatever you wanted, like it was Minecraft.
Fortnite.
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay, I'll stop. I'm sorry.
Shut the fuck up. We can't talk about it. But
All right, so
yeah,
I'll allow you to redirect the conversation
it's great.
by going to get a beer.
There you go.
I cannot believe it. You can't
What?
fucking talk about it. You can't fucking talk about it.
Why?
Because we can't. We can't. We can't.
But what's the point?
Shit about it until they say we can talk about it.
Eee,
But
my bad.
those of you guys that are watching and want to know what the fuck we are talking about, go on YouTube, Fortnite, YouTube it, watch it, and it's gonna be great. You can't show them that. You can't show them. You can't do Fortnite.
That wasn't. That was something
Oscar
different.
leaves at like the most opportune time. He's like, well, I'm just gonna fucking get out of my chair and.
He had to go grab another alcoholic drink, I think.
Well, don't leave, man, because we're sitting here running out of time because we do have Fortnite to look at, and we're gonna be wrapping it up here shortly. But before
I
we
don't
get
care
off
about anything else.
and I really want to talk about this because I want to know about your idea or what your thoughts are. Okay, so. Like 3 days ago, there was this chick YouTuber. She was playing League, I believe. And supposedly, okay, she didn't realize that her stream was still going on, and she was kind of, hammer-handing it, flicking the ocean, so to speak. And, like, her sub box just instantly blew up. Now, as a guy, it's way more difficult to try to get in the game like that, but do you think that she just randomly did it? Like, she had to have known, right? Like, there's no way that she could have known. Like, she purposely did that for subs.
That's what I'm going with.
I mean, sex sells, right?
It does. It does.
And-
Sex
and-
does though. Like, I try to be sexy. If I do, like people look at me weird. Like, you ever sometimes when you're sitting out in public, and you get that one itch that you just have to get to, and it's like,
I don't care.
dude, like literally the other day I was sitting here like there's this chick next to me, like she was smoking hot, and I'm like, oh my gosh, not now, really? I got an itch there. I got an itch. But they're like trying to do it all awkward, and I'm looking over at her to make sure she's not looking at me. And then we have like eye contact, and then I was like, oh no, seriously, I'm not, and I'm like, oh man, so awkward, I had to leave. Had to do it. You have no problem doing it. You just you don't give a shit, do you?
Who are you talking to?
I don't care. I don't care.
He's like,
What do I got to lose?
you don't got nothing to lose.
Legitimately, the way I look at it, I'm married, and I don't really care either. That's
There you go. It's like, what?
You know how people are nowadays. They'll be called the cops.
What? Give me a dirty look. I'll give you a dirty look back.
yeah, no, for real. Like, give me a dirty look, scream, run away. I got more room now. I'll scoot over. What's up?
Yeah, that chick did it for attention in her sub box.
Yeah. So my only question about that, So I did see at the end of the video, I think the same one you're talking about, that her account was like banned.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
So
didn't get that far down there.
yeah.
I
No,
didn't get
she
that far.
yeah, her account got shut down. So
Okay, yeah, Twitch
So-
isn't messing around with that anymore.
No, they
so
don't.
so if you look at that, I don't know how easy it would be for her to just create another account and then have all of those followers jump onto that. But would
Simple.
it be
She's got a sister,
plausible?
right?
Well, no. So I mean, she's got a sister, right, or whatever. I'm saying, how hard would it be to get all of those followers back onto a different account? That's really the question. That I
Well,
would ask.
most of them are in their mom's basement eating chips, so I couldn't help myself. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. If they haven't left the chair they were in when she stopped the screen.
Are you eating chips right now?
No, if I had chips, I would.
I'm sorry. I had to do it.
I was about to say, you didn't hear no crunching.
What I'm really curious about is that, okay, let's just get the elephant out of the room. Look, girls have an easier time doing like live streams and
Yeah.
shit on YouTube compared to guys. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, the audience is primarily men. So
like tips. Okay, let's get real here. Everybody that's watching this that's a dude is like, oh yeah, we like the Hooters. But the thing about it is, it's so much easier for a chick. So she was probably already making money. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just curious to see if all of the views that she had that night when it was popping off, because you know it went viral when it first started.
Yeah.
So I wonder how much revenue that she either got to
Hey, all I can say,
that she would lose the revenue.
hey, all I can say is, when you finished watching Rocky 1, did you not want to see Rocky 2?
Oh, you're such a fucking corny bastard.
I'm sorry, I'm just sorry.
Man.
That's just,
Oh my gosh!
yeah.
Guys!
It's that time.
It is the end. We have reached the end of the podcast.
It's a sad day.
I guess. I'll go along with it.
Any final thoughts? Anything final? Final thoughts?
I just wish
Michael
that
Phelps is a beast.
he is a beastly motherfucker right
Michael
there.
Phelps is a beast, and everybody that talks shit, even those bastards over there in Dare, look at Michael Phelps. What is he at, like
You make me
21?
want to go grab a frying pan and 2 eggs right now.
What, 21 gold medals? Seriously.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
and so I watched him win, I think 2 of them the other night, and the thing I noticed, you guys heard about this guy that was like all on his nuts, right?
Yeah, that's where we got the meme for the driving on I-4 being all angry.
Yeah.
The little jacket.
So before they actually started the race, right? Dude is sitting here like hardcore grilling into the back of Michael Phelps, and Michael Phelps is looking the other way like all majestic and shit, like.
Yeah,
I'm Michael Phelps. I didn't know if you know that or not. So then
Yeah.
they do the race, and the whole race, dude, every time he comes up on his butterfly, right, he's looking at Michael Phelps, pull away from him, right? And Michael Phelps the whole time is just looking straight, like I'm just about to own your ass, and he did. And I don't know, man, that shit it was funny.
Excellent swimmer. He's proved that Dare just doesn't work. And, other than that, anybody else? He's done. He's done for. Ryan, any
He's gone.
thoughts?
I'm good.
America.
Good.
Hey,
Wow.
look.
Thoughts and prayers are
Look.
with
It's a seaman.
and he's coming back. Oh, I was just signing off for everybody. I was just
You
signing
know,
off.
he was just showing off his port outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I said America.
There you go.
America. So yeah, that's it for the Unfiltered Podcast. I appreciate you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you guys check us out online, realgamemedia.com. Are you guys done?
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for having me, man.
Watts here. Watts, we'll see you next week, hopefully. And you also got X9, 911, R9, 17, 20. Just call him fucking Ryan. My name is Cujo, PTFO or GTFO, bitch. We're out.